Hi, the patient today is a VFR 750F. It's a 1995, as you can see here. Has a no start condition. If you turn the accelerator, it dies immediately. If we start it, it dies in about 10 seconds, no less than that. As you can see here, we pulled the panels away. There's a petcock down inside here. It's been on the whole time. It's been sitting. So, and people online were looking for this petcock. There it is. It's hidden behind all these panels. So if you're retiring it for the season, you want to shut this off. And it has never been shut off. And it's on the right hand side of the bike. So that's where the petcock is, hidden under here, so no one can find it. It also has a inline filter, an inline stock filter. So I think that would be the next course of action. Here it's on the left-hand side of the bike. You can see it underneath this panel here. It's hard to see. It's very sunny. There it is. And then this travels to the pump back here. Which you can't really see too well. We have to remove this panel entirely. But the pump, so we're hoping to remove the filter and either bypass it or put another one in and see what happens. Hi, my name is Robin, and today I'm going to be attempting to clean the carbs of this Honda VFR 750F. It's a 1995. So here's the bike. I started to take off the fairing. We took off the seat. Now I have to take off the two fairings. There's a screw here. There's a screw up inside there. But you have to come up with the your screwdriver up to this screw here. You have to pop the back off to get at it. Take the bolt out, and then this piece comes off here. See, here's a spot where this clips into the side of the tank. So yeah, I'm going to take off these two fairings and expose the tank. And underneath the tank are the carbs and the air box. Okay, I got the tank off. I removed it was a single bolt that held the tank in, but there's an insert inside there that wouldn't allow me to pull up on it. So I had to push it in a little bit and then pull up, and then I had to disconnect these two hoses right here. Two hoses that went to the tank. A small one and a larger one. Underneath here, you can see here are the carbs. It's right underneath the air box, right here. So I'm going to have to remove the air box next and take out the carbs. Okay, I got the tank off, and I took the cover to the air cleaner off. This air filter is disgusting. So we're either going to need to clean this really well or put a new one in. Find out when I take a closer look. It's just really nasty. So there are 4 band clamps down here. Here's one that we can see. There's another one that we can't see very well. There it is. You see in there, it's a band clamp right in the center. I can point. See where that, it's deep in there. There's the other band clamp screw. What else we got attached to this? I think we can get at those two. And then I have 2 on the other side. We're going to remove the throttle cable here. And then you can clearly see the band clamps on this side. There's one right there. right there, there's the band clamp screw, and right across from it, its brother over here, which I can't really see it right now. Oh, there it is. It's right down here. There it is. So if we undo all of them, and undo the throttle cable, I'm supposed to lift this off. Looks like there's another cable up here. The choke cable. Not quite sure. That's probably gonna have to come off. So we got the carbs off this VFR 750. Here it is. There's 4 of them. So they're in various stages of being clogged and not. This has a float valve. I mean the float. And under there's the float valve. This one, the float valve is stuck in there. There's no movement up and down by the valve. So that needs to be taken off and cleaned. I already took this float off. And this one was fairly clean. Can't really see inside that tiny little hole. This little hole. The float valve sits in there, and that one's pretty clean. All of these jets they're sort of clogged. I was able to get the needle through some of them, the carb cleaning needle. But yeah, all of these floats need to come out. And I'm just going to spray some carb cleaner in there. See how bad it is. I mean, if we don't have to disassemble the entire carb, that would be nice. So I'm just going to try to clean it. So I soaked the jets in pine salt overnight, and also the bottom of the bowls, and cleaned them out. Clean that. This one here, this is the pilot. It might be the pilot jet. This I was not able to remove, so I used my carb cleaning tool, the wire, and just tried to ream it out as best as I could. Where's that tool? Have holes to see if it would drip out on the other side. So I definitely have flow now in all of those ports. I just have to finish putting the jets back in. I just screwed it in hand tight. I have to tighten them up. I'm going to put the bowls back on, and yeah, I think we're ready to go, at least in that respect. Alright, so we got through the carbs on this VFR. I also changed the plugs. The rear plugs are easy to get to. They're right here, next to where they are. The front 2 plugs were harder to get to. Actually, maybe I can touch it with my finger. Yeah, there's 2. So once you take those out and take these 2 hoses off, and then just unclip this hose from here, you can swing this radiator out, and then you can get to the plugs, which they're deep. They're in here, right? I can't even touch it. Here's the plug wire. Here's the plug wire, and it goes to the front. You can't really, I don't have really good lighting in here. So yeah, it's behind the radiator. So if you just swing it forward, you can get to it. So I changed the spark plugs. At the same time, I changed the coolant, so cleaned out some of the nasty shit. Yeah, here's another one. I just opened this reservoir for the brake, and it's really brown fluid. It's really old. So here's the bleed point for the clutch master or slave, and you know, the bleed point for the wheels for this one is going to be right here. I got this uncovered already. So yeah, the fluid's really nasty. So I finally got the Honda VFR 1995 put back together. I clean the carbs. There's a bank of 4, and the carbs in here are, the type is called CV downdraft carbs, and they're a different configuration than regular ones. So they're Kahan, VP, and I had a real hard time finding information, and I actually just had to look at a picture. Someone had drawn a picture on in Google Images of downdraft carburetor, what it looks like inside, because yeah, it's different than the typical. So it was hard to figure out what passageway is going where and what really was critical. You know, it was dumping fuel, and you know, I'd start it and it would just dump fuel on the ground and wouldn't start at all. So the plugs were fouled, they were full of oil, and changed them, changed everything, all the fluids on the bike, and soaked the carbs in Pine Sol overnight, the whole bank of them. You know, I just submerged them. I took out the jets and the float valve and, you know, the pins that attach the floats. So once I soaked that, blew everything out with air, and that was the best I could do, because it seems like there are some parts on this carb that do not come out, and I really couldn't make turns with, I have little carb needles, but you know, the passageways are twisty and turny on this one. So yeah, this is the result here. Let's see if we can get this baby started here. Here, on. Start. Look at that.